Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I am so excited to do. I'm going to be talking about my top favorite eyeshadow palettes outside of my comfort zone. So this actually came through as a request on TikTok. I had posted a few eyeshadow palette TikToks on my account, which is by Samantha March, and someone commented and said, would you show your top favorite out of your comfort zone palettes? And I thought that would make a really fun YouTube video as well. So I have 8 eyeshadow palettes I'm going to be sharing with you that I really do enjoy, but they push me out of my comfort zone. There's not some neutral palettes you're going to be seeing in this video. But before we jump into it, I do want to say that there is a sponsor on today's video, and this video is sponsored by Ana Luisa. I do enjoy working with Ana Luisa. I'm going to share with you a few of the jewelry pieces that I have received and tell you about a sale that they have going on right now. So let's hop into that. Alright, so I have been able to work with Ana Luisa for, I think it's been over a year now that we've been working together, which is always so exciting. They are really one of my favorite companies to work with because not only do they have really beautiful jewelry pieces, not only do I appreciate what their company stands for and their backstory behind their jewelry pieces, they're also just really nice people to work with, which is just always like so fantastic when you can find that. But I do have some Ana Luisa pieces on today. My rings that I often wear, these are both from Ana Luisa. I do also have my like gold chain link bracelet on today. I think I mentioned this one in my last video that I did with Ana Luisa. I also have a matching necklace. I also have a snoring dog in the room, if you can hear that. But I really love the Ana Luisa earrings. I have so many pairs of earrings from them, but they're just all so beautiful. So I do have a new pair on today. I will be doing some close-ups of everything, but these are the Catherine earrings, and these are just, when I put these on for the first time, I had this reaction. It's something that I wish I would have been recording myself, but I don't, you know, record myself 24/7, oddly enough. But they were ones I put them on and immediately just was like, oh, they're just so beautiful. So again, these are the Catherine earrings. And then also kind of similar to this is the Antoinette cuff. So I do have my hair down today. Sometimes I pin my hair back, like, well, sometimes I just wear my hair half up, half down, back, or I pin it back. That way you can be able to see the ear cuff more. But this ear cuff in Antoinette kind of reminds me a little bit of the Catherine earrings. Both of these do have some weight to them also. But this ear cuff with like, it almost looks like little arrows on here. I don't know. It just, once again, this piece is just so fun, so beautiful. I really do like ear cuffs. I have quite a few in my jewelry collection, but this one is so beautiful. I did also receive these earrings, which are the sparkle earrings. Again, I'll do some close-ups and show what they look like on me too, but I thought these were so fun. These are the huggy style, and you have some bling on them and then the little chain that comes down. I have another pair of earrings from Ana Luisa that is a pearl, and it's like all in one line, and you have like the little dangly part. The pearl goes in the front, then the dangle, and then you swoop it around to put the back on it. I love those earrings, and I always get compliments when I wear those too. And these kind of reminded me a little bit of those earrings. Something about the little danglies I thought was just so much fun. So these are called the sparkle earrings, and Ana Luisa is running a Mother's Day sale right now. So the website is 15% off. I have a link in my description box, so if you just click that, then there is no code to get the 15% off. It's not an affiliate link, but of course I would always appreciate if you use my links, because the brand will be able to see where that traffic is coming from. So that will be in my description box. And like I said, I've really enjoyed working with Ana Luisa. Not only do they have a sustainable mission with being carbon neutral, they make really limited batches of their products so they don't have a bunch of waste with them. Just their backstory of being more aware with making their jewelry, I think, is really fantastic. Their jewelry starts out at $39. So there is a mixture with the price tag, also just the amount of products. They have bracelets and rings and earrings and necklaces, also really quality pieces. I actually did gift my mom some earrings was it last year that I gifted her some earrings? I'm gonna ask her once again. I'll have asked her by the time this video comes out, so it won't be a surprise because Mom watches all of my videos. But I was gonna ask her if there's anything else that she wanted from the Ana Luisa website, because I would get them for her for Mother's Day and get the 15% off. So it would be a win-win situation for us. So again, that link will be in my description box if you want to check out any of the Ana Luisa jewelry. Maybe use the 15% off to gift something to someone special in your life, or let someone special in your life know that you want something from the website and let them know that they can get the 15% off. So again, that information will be in my description box along with the link. Thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the new pieces that I have on. And let's jump into the eyeshadow palette. One of the first palettes that jumped into my mind when I saw someone leave this comment on my TikTok was from Colourpop, and this is the Fade into Hue palette. So this is, first of all, it's a larger palette, so I usually go for something a little bit smaller, and it is just real colorful. It is real colorful. And you know what's so funny is I can tell that I really like the yellows in here, because I don't know if you can see all the yellow up here. I tend to go into this palette for the yellows. Beautiful row of purple, obviously blue, green, orange, and pink, but it's just been fun. When I open up this palette, I feel like I just get different ideas because I am more of a neutral fan. I would really love to see some other creators do this video, especially ones who do have a very different makeup style than me. Like, I'm thinking of my friend Angelica. It'd be really funny to see her do this video because she'd probably be showing neutral palettes as her out of her comfort zone, but I definitely do prefer neutrals. So when I go into this, I just feel a little bit more inspired to do something fun and different. And I feel like the looks that I've done with the Fade into Hue have just, yeah, definitely been different for me. Speaking of Angelica, I feel like it makes sense to talk about this palette next. This is actually her collaboration with Kaleidos makeup, and this is the Club Nebula palette. So when Angie was first showing me this palette, I had those thoughts of like, that looks absolutely beautiful and that's such an Angie palette, and then the thought of like, can I pull that off? What can I do? I'm kind of nervous. But Kaleidos has a great eyeshadow formula. There's actually another palette from Kaleidos makeup in this video that you will, I'll share it next. So there's another palette in there, but this is so easy to work with. And once again, I do have a video with 3 different looks on my channel if you'd want to check them out. All 3 are so different. All of them are, you know, outside of my comfort zone. Of course, don't take a drink every time I say that unless you really want to. But all of them were beautiful and also easy to create. I'm someone who doesn't like to take a lot of time blending. I'm someone that doesn't get really precise with like cut creases and like all of the things. I like more simpler to create makeup looks, but especially if they're looks that look like they took a long time, I think that's fun too. That's kind of like the vibe I was getting with this one. Even these darker mattes here, they were so easy to use and so easy to work with. There's just a lot of different possibilities with this palette, and I think it's a fun one. The other palette that I have from Kaleidos makeup, this is the Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green palette. So green I have definitely gotten into more over the past year or so, I would say. I used to not enjoy greens at all. Sometimes I can still get a little bit intimidated by the color, but when I opened this one, I received a few palettes from Kaleidos and PR, and when I opened them, this was one that I was like, oh well, I'm excited to put that on my eyes. It's just so fun. Once again, the eyeshadow formula is really beautiful. The mattes are easy to use. The shimmers are so gorgeous. I have a few of these style palettes from Kaleidos, and the shimmers in all of them are just like on, they're just like on another level. So this one from Kaleidos, so beautiful. A little out of my comfort zone though. This next palette I credit to being what started to get me into green eyeshadow. If you've been following my channel for a while, you probably know what I'm gonna say. Because when I received 4 different quads from Charlotte Tilbury, this was the one that I was like, I have no interest using that. That's gonna look terrible on me. And that is the Green Lights quads from Charlotte Tilbury. So she released these color-coded eyeshadow quads, I think it was last year. And the blue one I was also really not excited for because I don't go for blues a lot either, and I find them harder to work with. But this green one, especially because they're all a shimmer shade in here, I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, okay. And I put it on my eyes and I was like, I'm beautiful. Oh you look good today. It was so bizarre. And then when I wore it again, I had that same exact, and I was like, well, what is going on here? And since then, I have slowly gotten more and more into green eyeshadow. So I really do credit the Charlotte Tilbury green lights. Now these are expensive. It's $53 for 4 shadows. I recommend like a sale or something along those lines because that is pretty pricey, but it's such an easy palette for me to wear, and I think it's beautiful. I do actually have 3 palettes in here from Colourpop, which is a lot. I definitely have a lot of Colourpop palettes. I am on their PR list, and I have been for a while. And I think when I was going through my eyeshadow palettes, I was like, okay, why do I have so many? Because there's probably even more I could have reached from Colourpop. I was like, why do I have so many? And I think the thing is that because I do get them in PR, it's different. Like if I see a palette and I'm like, I'm probably not going to use that very often, which can be the case if you're thinking it's something outside of your comfort zone, because while it's great to get out, we're usually in there for a reason. It's because it's, you know, we gravitate toward it. It's easier for us to use. It's nice for us to use. We know what to expect out of it. Where something out of your comfort zone, it could be fun to switch it up every now and then, but it's not your staple. It's not your go-to, because that's the opposite of comfort zone. Again, please don't be taking drinks unless you want to. Because I've been on Colourpop's PR for so long, that's why I'm able to try so many of their eyeshadow palettes. And I will say there are palettes from Colourpop that I'm like, nope, not interested. Even neutral ones and ones that look like I could really enjoy them, I'm like, nope, it's just too much. And then I get them and try and I'm like, wait a second, like this is so beautiful. So that does happen from time to time too. But that's what I was thinking. That's why I have so many from Colourpop, because I can't just, especially with eyeshadow palettes, some of them can get so expensive. I've already put myself into debt over makeup once. I'm really not trying to do it again, especially with something like moving and being on my own now. I'm trying to be a little bit smarter with my makeup purchases, so I don't want to throw a bunch of money at eyeshadow palettes that I feel like will just collect dust, you know? Anyways, moving on. This one from Colourpop. This is actually the main squeeze palette. So this is their red palette. When they were coming out with monochromatic palettes, the red one was one that I thought, well, I'm never gonna wear this. This is gonna make me look sick. This is just not gonna be good. And it's so funny because they also came out with the yellow palette, and I was like, the honey, and I was like, oh yes, that is like, I'm gonna love that one. I do it for whatever reason. I do enjoy yellows. I like wearing yellow, and I just thought that one's gonna be it. And it's a total flip-flop moment. I'm pretty sure, did I declutter the honey? I might have decluttered it, but this one is super fun to me. It's definitely like a springy palette. I might have mentioned this in my top palettes for spring, but it's fun. It's easy to use. It's different. When I want to do that, you know, just kind of like different, bolder look, this is what I could reach into. I think it's a lot of fun. All right, I'll just do the last palette from Colourpop to get it out of the way, but this is the Baroque palette. So this is another one of their 9-pan palettes. Now, I was really debating between this one and the Blowing Smoke. I'll say they're similar-ish in that they're very cool toned. The Blowing Smoke is very like grayscale type of palette, and I do really like it, but I actually think I like Baroque just a little bit more because I feel like it offers me just a little bit more variety with my looks. But once again, very cool toned, very kind of like blue gray tones. So fun. You know, it's not my usual, it's not my norm or my go-to, but when I want something a little bit more like sultry and just Baroque is the one that I can go to. Another collab palette that I have in here is the Mel Thompson in Tiny Marvels. I think I mentioned this in my spring palettes also, but this is a fun one, and I feel like it is out of my comfort zone because while there are some neutrals in here, there's a lot of like fun pops with the green. This purple is also pretty, it's a pretty fun shade. This, like the duochrome, is so beautiful. I feel like because of the way that it's laid out, it can, when I first open it, I can be a little bit like, I'm not really sure what to do. And then when I start to like change it up, you know, I'm not a super visual person, so sometimes I can kind of struggle with that. So when a palette is kind of laid out like this, I first am kind of like, okay, get it together, you can do this. But the looks that you can create with this palette are so beautiful. The Sydney Grace formula is so good. I love the shades that Mel chose out. There's just such a variety of different looks that you can do with this palette also, and I think it's a fun one. And the last palette that I have to mention is from Ofra Cosmetics. This is one of their 5-pan palettes, and this is in Beachside. I mean, this just makes me want to go to the beach. I think that this is such a fun palette. You have like the bright pop of pink, you have the yellow, you have this lighter blue, but you can also pull off something a little bit more neutral with these in the center. You could do something a little bit more neutral with just, you know, a pop of color on your lash line or as a wing. I think that this is such a fun one. When I did receive this in PR, I was like, okay, this is something that I would never purchase myself. But when I actually started playing with it, I was like, okay, this is just a good time. This is just fun. Like I said, those pops of yellow, I tend to really do enjoy. But the signature palette from Ofra in Beachside, just another one that I think is a good time while being a little bit out of my comfort zone. All right, that is it for today's video. My top, I believe it was 8 eyeshadow palettes outside my comfort zone. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this one. Again, if you're a creator, I would love if you made this style of video. I don't know if this has been done. Again, this came to me as a request on TikTok. I don't think it has, but I'm not sure. But if you would want to do it, I definitely would love to see it. Or I would love if you left your comments down below to tell me some of your favorite palettes that maybe you thought you really wouldn't enjoy, but you really ended up loving them. Again, thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the new these earrings. I still just like can't get over them. So I will have them linked down below, as well with my Ana Luisa link for that 15% off for Mother's Day. Thank you again to them for sponsoring this, and thank you guys so much for giving me these opportunities. I really do appreciate it. Other than that though, if you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.